It's at 2023 Daniel Deal from Cumberland, Maryland. 11 heats. This will be heat number 1, Madam Referee. Over on the women's side, the women's 200-yard backstroke, your championship and national record, 151.27 set in 2023. Aaliyah Shackley from Blair, Pennsylvania. 10 heats in total. This will be heat number 1, Madam Referee. And on our men's course, it looks like Trevor Olson from Lancaster, early leader. And on the women's side, it's Ashworth from Spartanburg. Orichka Ashworth, 15 years old. Pretty good swim right there for Olson at 152. And Ashworth, she goes 206.82 on the women's side. Good swim right there for the 15-year-old from Greater Spartanburg. Two in on the men's side. And now on the women's side, heat number 2 in. Your top time so far, 152.15 on the men's side. Trevor Olson from Lancaster Family Y, and on the women's side, 206.82. Marichka Ashworth from Greater Spartanburg, South Carolina. 150 through on the men. Now that's Martin from Umley. That's Shane Martin, another 15-year-old. He's through at 125. And see if he'll hold off the field here. And he will. He goes 155.00 for Shane Martin. Nice swim. Heat 3 in the water on the men's side of 11. And on the women's side, your leader, Riley Cohen, Greater Johnstown, swimming out of lane number 3 in Heat 2 of 10. Women's 200-yard backstroke. And Cohen, she'll go 2:05.02, and she now has the top time on the deck unofficially. Gross through at 124.86, 150 through. Logan Gross from Champaign. And it'll be Brad Bricker from Birmingham at 154.92. Ben Bricker. Heat 4 in for the men, and the women are finishing up here in their heat number 3. And it will be Emma Botensik at 2:04. That's your top time so far. She'll be your leader on the deck unofficially. the men's side to finish up 152 for Zalewski from Sea Dog, Cheshire, Connecticut. 152.13 for Peter Zalewski. And now your leader on the deck unofficially by 2 100s. And on the men's side, heat number 5 of 11 in the water. And on the women's side, heat number 4 of 10. What did it take to get in to the championship final last year on the women's side? 159.16 got you into the top 8. 201.72 got you into the B final. And to make the C final, you were 202.92. And on the men's side, it was 147.08 to get into that championship final last year. 150.97, top 16, or into the B final. And into the C final last year, it was 151.55. Halfway through on the men's side, Riley Rowan out in 54.31. Over on the women's side, heat number 5 now in the water. Leader on the deck unofficially, Emma Botetzik from Oshkosh. She was 204 on the men's side. Peter Zalewski at a 152.13. And there's Riley Rowan at a 152.23. Heat 6 now in the water for the men, 6 of 11 heats. Top time 152.13. Peter Zalewski from Cheshire. On the women's side, heat number 5 now we'll be finishing up. 200 backstroke. And there's a 203. Great swim for Sophie Perry, 203.50. And on the women's side, heat number 6 now in the water. Top time for the women, Sophie Perry Yoda, 2:03.50. Finishing up on the men's side, it will be Steeler Wowell from Geneva Lakes. Steeler goes 152.07. Up on the 150 mark on the women's side. Maddie Fox, your leader from Upper Mainline. And on the men's side, heat number 7 of 11 in the water. And we'll be finishing up on the men's side. So Anderson from Birmingham, they go 2:03.97. Heat 7 in the water for the women. Finish it up on the men's side. Heat number 7. And there's our first sub 150. John Brostowitz from Schrader goes 149.21. Great swim right there. And on the women's side, that's heat number 7 of 10. We need a Titusville coach to the time trial table, please. Titusville to the time trial table, please. Thank you. Women's side, heat 7 in the water. Top time 2:03.50. Sophie Perry from Yoda. And on the men's side, your top time so far, John Brostowitz from Schrader at 149.21. Heat number 8 in the water for the men. 11 heats in total. And on the women's side, Tegan McEnroe goes 2:02.55. Your new leader on the deck unofficially. Hey, 148.99. Big swim right there for Ryan West from YMCA The Triangle. Unofficially your leader on the deck. Once again, coach from Titusville, time trial table. On the women's side, first of our 3 circle-seated heats, heat number 8 of 10, women's 200 back. Center of the pool, Claire Logan, 4th in this event last year from Fanwood Scotch Plains. And in lane number 5, Elizabeth Beam. She was 9th last year in this event. Vicky Schluck in lane 3, 48th last year in this event. So I'm in the D final last year as a 15 and under. And over on the men's side, first of our 3 circle-seated heats, heat number 9 of 11. Lane number 4 is Tyler Quarterman, 6th in this event last year. Next to him, Hayden Myers, 36th last year in this event. Connor Mangan from Central Bucks, 21st last year. He's in lane 3. And in lane 6, Kenneth McLaughlin, 25th in this event last year. Time to beat on the women's side. Tegan McEnroe is 2:02. And there's your 2:00, 30 for Vicky Schluck. Unofficially your leader on the deck. Great swim, Hayden Myers, 144.51. New leader on the deck. So on the women's side, heat number 9 of 10 in the water. Out of lane number 4, she gave our reflection earlier today. That's Devin Sargent. Out first, she was 5th in this event last year. Next to her, Alyssa Clapburn was 38th last year in this event. Annie Dickinson, lane 3, was 12th in this event last year. And over on the men's side, heat number 10 of 11, second of our 3 circle-seated heats in the water. Sam Lorenz in lane number 4 from Schrader. He was 3rd in this event last year. Time to beat, 144.51 so far. And on the women's side, 2:00:30, Vicky Schluck as your top time through 8 heats. Devin Sargent, very good reflection about family in the YMCA earlier today. Great job for Devin. And there she goes at a 156.91. A real good zippy swim right there for Devin. Could be a PB. So Stebbins, he'll go 146.29. Good swim right there. Men's side, third of our three circle-seated heats, heat number 11 of 11 in the water. Top seed, seventh last year, Kenneth Barnacle from Greater Somerset County, lane number 4. Luke Lamb, he was 28th as a 15 and under last year from Schrader, is next to him in lane 5. Tristan Ronay, 24th, lane number 6 from Ridley. And on the women's side, final heat, third of our three circle-seated heats, heat number 10. Top seed coming in, Hayden Penny's in lane number 4. Right next to her, Maggie Dickinson from Schrader, 14 years old. She was 18th last year in this event. And then Katie Lawrence did not swim this event last year, 6th in the 100 fly last year. Connor Johnson, lane 3 for the men's 2 back in heat number 11. He was 10th in this event last year. Time to beat on the women's side, 156.91, and on the men's side, 144.51. That was Hayden Myers. On the women's side, Devin Sargent. There's your 157 by Penny, 62. Looks like Devin will hold down lane number 4 later tonight, unofficially. Nice swim for Kenny Barnacle. But it looks like Hayden Meyer will hold down the top spot, unofficially, from Emmy Lyons. Next up on the women's course, 100-yard butterfly. Your championship and national record, Leah Shackley, Blair, Pennsylvania. 50.96 set last year, 2023. 15 heats in total. This will be heat number 1. Mr. Referee. And on the men's course, this is heat number 1, 100 yards of butterfly. 20 heats in total, 46.10. Brendan Burns holds the championship record from Upper Main Line in 2019. A national record, 45.81, set by Thomas Heilman from Piedmont in 2021. 20 heats in total on the men's side, and on the women's side, 15 heats. Heat 2 in for the women, heat 2 in for the men. 57, 54, 13 years old. Famous Scotch Plains, Janice Yip. out of heat number 1, and then Benjamin Haddad from Regional Y, Western Connecticut, was 52.11. Heat 3 of 15 on the women's side in the water, and heat 3 of 20 heats on the men's side, 100 fly in the water. A little bit of outside smoke in both courses. And Walbert to go 57.32. Top time so far, Sydney Walbert. So on the women's side, that was Sydney Walbert from Pocono at 57.32 out of heat 3. And on the men's side, heat number 420 in the water, Owen G was 51.43. Top time so far unofficially. Countryside, Ohio. Heat 5 of 20 in on the men's course. 51.29 for Brandon Calderon. Sandwich Scotch Plains, your unofficial leader on the deck. And on the women's side, heat 4 in the water. 15 heats in total. For the men, heat number 6 in the water. 20 heats in total. And on the women's, it's 58-13. That was Bell Colatis, and on the men's side, finish it up, 51-48. That's Tommy Lucier from the Wilton Wahoos. So what did it take to get back in on the women's side last year to get in the championship final? 54-45. 16th was 56-19. 24th last year was 56-68. And on the men's side, it took 48-89 to get into the final. 48-59 to get into 16th, and 50.07 for 24th last year. And on the men's side, finish it up here at 51-13. Kevin Yu, Central Maryland. He'll be your new leader on the deck unofficially. Heat number 8 in the water for the men. And over on the women's side, heat number 7 of 15 now in the water. And on the women's side, finishing up Benoit, she goes 57-87. .66 for Ben Sitzma out of heat number 8. Unofficially your leader on the deck on the men's side. Over on the women's side, heat number 8 in the water. And here we are on the women's side. Gal finishes up at 58-67. Annie Gal from Ready in Berks County. And on the women's side, heat number 9 in the water. 9 of 15 heats. Your top time so far, 57:58. We've seen Camelot unofficially. And on the men's side, heat number 10 of 20. And your top time, 50.66, Ben Sitzma, Rapid Area. So on the women's side, that was Evangeline Iman, Lakeland Hill. She was 57:12. Unofficially your new leader on the deck out of heat number 9. Heat number 10 for the women is in the water, 15 heats in total. And on the men's side, heat number 11 in the water. Your top time so far on the men's side is 50.66, Ben Sitzma from a Rapid Area. The 56:27 on the women's side. Sophia Yusuf, 56:27, unofficially your new leader on the deck. And on the men's side, Margita goes 51:02. Time trials close in 15 minutes. Time trials close in 15 minutes. On the women's side, heat number 11 of 15 in the water. Time to beat so far, Sophia Yusuf, 56:27 unofficially. There's a 55:67. Great swim right there. And women's side, a new leader on the deck, 14 years old from Springfield, Illinois, Kate Shina at 55:76. Unofficially, 12 of 15 in the water for the women. And on the men's side, a new leader, 50.48, Greater Spartanburg's Wade Shanggi. 13 of 20 in the water for the men. So over on the women's side, that was Serena Dickey going 56-41 on the last heat. Heat number 13 to 15, the first of our 3 circle-seated heats. In lane number 4, Anna Mosch is defending champion in 2 free. And Billy Sherratt's in lane number 5. She was 16th last year in this event. Over on the men's side, we'd have a new leader on the deck. Chase Chrissy from Emmy Lyons was 49.92. And in the water heat, 14 of 20 on the men's side. We need the head coach of the Racine Y. Racine Y to the deck referee on the men's side. Thank you. And on the women's side, this is heat number 14 of 15, second of our 3 circle-seated heats. Top time so far, Anna Mosch went 53.94 in that previous heat. Elena Berlin in lane number 4 here in heat 14 from Schrader, 5th last year. Alyssa Claphorn from Lowe's was 54th last year. She's in lane number 5. Over on the men's side, heat number 15 in the water of 20 heats. Hayden Gould, now you're a leader on the deck from the Dick Family YMCA. He was 49.98. I'm sorry, Chase Christie still has a 49.92. He is your leader on the deck, unofficially. So now Elena Berlin, unofficially your leader on the deck at a 52.86. Final heat in for the women, heat number 15 of 15. Third of our 3 circle-seated heats. Top seeded in meet. Finished second last year, Emily Thompson in lane number 4. Kate Murray from the 2 free last year and finished 4th in that event last year from Westport Weston. Over on the men's side, leader on the deck is Chase Chrissy from Emmy Lyons at 49.92. Heat 16 is in the water. Finishing up on the women's side, Thompson, she goes 53.05. Unofficially, Elena Berlin will hold down lane number 4 later tonight. And on the men's side, 49.54 for Batchchild. Bachelor, Kai Bachelor. The next event for the women, 200-yard breaststroke, your championship record to 10:44. That's also your national record. Annika McEnroe from Middle Tiger. There'll be 13 heats in total. Madam Referee. Heat 1. So on the men's side, 49.54, Kai Bachelor. The leader on the deck unofficially. And on the men's side, heat number 18 of 20. First of our 3 circle-seated heats. Hugo Ortega, 7th last year. He's in lane 4. Will Brown's in lane 5. He was 4th last year in this event. Time to beat 49.54. Shane Eckler, he'll go 48.15. Heat 2 in for the women's 200-yard backstroke. It was Lexi Glenecki, 224.80 out of heat number 1. On the men's side, second of our 3 circle-seated heats, heat number 19, John Rusnock. Lane number 4, 19th last year, Jack Mills. Lane number 5, he was 6th last year, center of the pool. That'll be Rusnock at 48.49. Leader on the deck is Shane Eckler at 48.15 unofficially. Final heat in for the men, heat number 20 of 20, third of our 3 circle-seated heats. Your top seed coming in, Jacob Kramer, Kishwaukee Family Y, lane number 4. Lane number 5, Garrett Gould, who was 3rd in this event last year from Greater Somerset County. Kramer out in 22.04, pretty quick. Heat number 2 at 13 for the women in on the breaststroke. 200 breaststroke. 13 heats in total. Time to beat 48.15 so far, and it will be Garrett Gould. He goes 48.05, unofficially your fastest time through 20 heats. Next up on the men's course, 200-yard breaststroke. Your championship record, 153.59, set back in 2018. Max McHugh from Door County. National record set by Matt Fallon, 151.39. Set back in 2021 from Somerset Valley. 14 heats in total. This will be heat number 1, Mr. Referee. Heat number 3 of 13 in the water for the women 200 backstroke. Here are your preliminary results from the women's 200 backstroke. Your alternates for the D final, Wilson and Ponterero. Eligible to swim in tonight's D final, Hummel, Chesley, Ashworth, Bernard, Stolford, Cohen, Spellman, and Harlan. Your alternates right now for the women's 200 backstroke are Meyer and Perry. There's a tie for 16th. Swimming into B final. Tie for 16th. Leishman, Logan, Pilger, Gussin, McEnroe, Winnicki, Jellick, Dickinson, and Maltsev. Eligible to swim in the C final. Schrader, Jeffers, Anderson, Wenzel, Nowitzki, Meyer, and Perry. And your championship finalists. Eligible to swim, Jewett, Beam, Sluck, Claiborne, Lawrence, Dickinson, Penny, and your top qualifier with the time of 1:56.91 from Upper Mainline, Devin Sargent. Time is 9:59. You have 30 minutes to declare your intentions to scratch. And on the men's side, that's a 2:12. Kirkir, 2:12.98 out of heat number 1. Number 2 of 14, and on the men's side, 200 breaststroke. And on the women's side, finish it up at a 2:23.43. That's Hayes from the Rays. Her fastest time so far, Ava Hayes from Upper Palmetto. Here are your preliminary results from the men's 200 backstroke. Your alternates for the D final, McLaurin, Martin. D finalists, Bricker, McGraw, Jun, Van Velzer, Wowell, Gotti, Van Erman, and Hill. Alternates for C final, Mayotte, Kupski. Eligible to swim in the C final, Werner, Burke, Pierce, Houle, Mangan, Skibbo, Charlton, and Jewett. Eligible to swim in the consolation final, Brostowitz, Graziano, Hoffman, Cole, Lorenz, McLaughlin, West, and Stoll. Eligible to swim in tonight's championship final for the men's 200 backstroke, Beeson, Lamb, Ronayne, Johnson, Stebbins, Barnacle, Quarterman, and your top qualifier from Emmy Lyons with the time of 1:44.51, Hayden Myers. Time is 10:01. You have 30 minutes to declare your intentions to scratch. Jack McMillan for Greater Somerset County goes 2:09.48. Your new leader on the deck unofficially. Heat number 3 now in the water for the men. 14 heats in total. And Marco, she goes 224.53. That's Eliza Marco from Bath Area, Maine. Heat number 4 of 13 now in the water for the women's 200 breaststroke. Top time 223.43. Ava Hayes, Upper Palmetto. Preliminary results for the women's 100-yard butterfly. Your alternates for the D final. Leishman and McGann. Eligible to swim in tonight's D final. Berlin, McNamara, Benoit, Gallimore, King, Yip, Upton, and Phillips. Your alternates for the C final. Bull and Claphorn. Eligible to swim tonight's C final. Everly, Knopfschneider, Lewenig, Dickey, Osada, Meyer, Hernsbrunner, Shivalakis. Eligible to swim in tonight's B final. McKyer, Way, Mitchell, Rosakis, Sherratt, Castro, Richards, and Kim. And eligible to swim in tonight's championship final. Murray, Lee, Padilla, Koponen, Lunishina, Mosh, Thompson, and your top qualifier time of 52.86. Elena Berlin from Schrader. Your time is 10:04. You have 30 minutes to declare your intentions to scratch. Heat number 5 of 13 in the water on the women's side, and on the men's side, it's heat number 4 of 14, 200-yard breaststroke. Keegan Eisenhofer of Reading and Berks County. In the pool on the women's side, heat number 6 of 13, and on the men's side, we're watching heat number 4 of 14. Tanner Trustum from Oshkosh, your early leader. Time to beat so far, 208.55. Get into 24th in the C final last year to go 206.46. 16th last year, 204.65. And to get into the championship final, 202.62 on the men's side. $207.35 for Tanner Trustman. New leader on the deck. Heat number 5 of 14 in the water on the men's side. Last year on the women's side, 24th got you in at a 2:22.60 for a night swim. Your B finalist had to go 2:21.19, and your championship final was 2:17.66 to get you in. Pretty good swim right there for Kelly Hassett, new leader on the deck unofficially with a 2:20.26. Great swim. On the men's side, Tanner Trustman has your top time unofficially 2:07.35. Heat number 7 of 13 for the women in the water. Men's swimming heat number 5. And a new top time on the men's side at 2:06.44 for Nate Stebbins. Heat 6 in on the men's side. And here are your preliminary results for the men's 100-yard butterfly. Alternates for the D final. Mahorne and Easton. Eligible to swim in tonight's D final: Kirby, G, Clark, Tasker, Eisenhofer, Zhu, O'Neill, and Lucier. Alternates for the C final: Pong and Cole. Eligible to swim tonight's C final: men's 100 fly: Gibbons, Sartitsky, Renard, Maury, Stoltz, Grissy, Gould, and Williams. Eligible to swim in tonight's console final: Bachelor, Beeson, Aguilar, Vance, Mills, Herring, Torres, and Tack. In the women's course, heat number 8 at 13. Continue with the men's 100 butterfly preliminary results. Eligible to swim in tonight's championship final: Brown, Kessler, Lapine, Rusnak, Kramer, Ortega, Eckler, and your top qualifier with a time of 48:05 from Greater Somerset County, Garrett Gould. Your time is 10:12. You have 30 minutes to declare your intentions to scratch. And they're on the men's side. That's Matt Christ. The Christie from Mount Laurel going 2:08. Nice swim. And heat number 7 of 14 in on the men's breaststroke, 200 breaststroke. 2:06:44 time to beat so far. Nate Stebbins, Birmingham, Michigan. And on the women's side, from Birmingham, Kelly Hassett has a 2:20. She has the fastest time so far. (2:20:29) for Kelly Hassett. Your leader unofficially on the deck for the women's 200 breaststroke through 7 heats. Julia Bartow, she goes 2:20:11, and that will be your top time unofficially so far through 8 heats. In the water on the women's side, heat number 9 at 13. Your top time, Julia Bartow, 2:20:11 unofficially. And over on the men's side, heat number 7. Of 14. Your top time, 2:06:44. Nate Stebbins. Swim right there for Meyer from the Reading Y, 2:07:06. Joey Meyer. And in the water for the men, heat number 8. Once again, your top time, 2:06:44. Nate Stebbins so far is your leader on the deck. Over on the women's side, Julia Bartow, 2:20:11 leads so far through 8 heats. Heat number 9 in the water on the women's side. Right, championship bioforms are available at the announcer's table. Top 8 championship finalists. Please take a championship bio and please return it to the announcer's table ASAP. And on the women's side, there's a 2:21:37 from Welsh. In the women's course, heat number 10 of 13 now in the water. On the men's side, heat number 8 of 14. New leader on the deck is Schneider from the York Y. Nick Schneider going 2:05. Pretty big drop right there, 73. Unofficially your new leader on the deck. So Nick Snyder, York and York County, 205.77. Unofficially your new leader on the deck through 8 heats. Men's 200 breaststroke. On the women's side, heat number 10 at 13 in the water, and on the men's side, heat number 9 of 14. Byers, your leader from Spartanburg on the women's side at a 141 so far. Hope all you fans are doing all right up there in Greensboro. Some pretty good swimming here in the prelims. Good to see you all out here, almost a packed house this morning. Don't forget the championship finals start tonight with the parade of athletes at 4:50. So Carolyn Byers, she goes 2:18.37. Greater Spartanburg, new leader on the deck. Heat number 11, first of our 3 circle-seated heats in the water on the women's course. Out of lane 3, Grace Hunt. Out of lane 4, Grace Hunt. She was 3rd last year. From Greater Spartanburg, Gianna Lavarini was 8th last year. She's in lane number 5. It was Liam Bean. Emmy Lyons going 2:07.09 in the last heat. Nick Snyder still your leader at 2:05.77 on the men's side unofficially. So heat number 11 in the water for the women. Caroline Byers, 2:18.37, your leader on the deck unofficially. Men heat number 10 of 14 in the water. So Grace Hunt, out 138.31 for Grace Hunt. On the beat so far, 2:18.37 on the women's side. Grace Hunt trying to chase down her teammate, Caroline Byers. And it'll be Hunt at 2:13.69. Pretty good swim right there. And heat number 12, second of our 3 circle-seated heats, women's 200-yard breaststroke in the water. Our defending champion, Sarah Zierjak from Piedmont in lane number 4. Lane number 5 is Izzy Pfeiffer from York and York County. She was 16th last year. 2:05.09, now your new leader on the deck, Brad McQuiston on the men's side. And over on the men's side, heat number 11 of 14 in the water. Brad McQuiston from Birmingham, now your leader on the deck, 2:05.09 out of heat number 10. Second of our three circle seated heats for the women in the water, Sarah Sirjak from Piedmont, your leader, 2:13.69 time to beat so far. Grace Hunt out of heat number 11 unofficially. Sirjak at 1:37.61 with 50 to go. So Sirjak trying to chase down that 2:13. Just around that time. She's 2:13.31, your new leader on the deck unofficially. Final heat, third of our three circle seated heats for the women. Heat number 13 in the water on the 200 breaststroke. Finishing up on the men's side, there's a 2:05.47 for Ochoa, Aiden Ochoa. Nice swim. Final heat on the women's side featuring Molly Iacoviello from York, fourth last year in this event. Gabby Augustine from Chippewa Valley is in lane number 5. You're at your fourth seed. And on the men's side, first of our three circle-seated heats, heat number 12 of 14. Your fastest time so far, Brad McQuiston from Birmingham, 2:05.09. And on the women's side, time beat so far, 2:13.31. Sarah Sirjak, our defending champion. And in the water, Molly Iacoviello, lane number 4. Now moving into the leader position here in the last heat for the women. Right next to her, Gabby Augustine. And it will be Iacoviello, 2:13.62. Looks like she'll hold down the second seed going into tonight's unofficially. Iacoviello, but your top time looked to be Sarah Sirjak, our defending champion, at 2:13.31. There will be a swim off on the women's course. For 16th place of the 200 backstroke between Claire Logan and Taylor Leishman. That'll be coming up momentarily. Swim off on the women's course. On the men's side, heat 12 in the water. First of our three circle-seated heats. Angus McDonald comes in at a 159.19. Be a little bit above that today at a 201.00, but now he is your leader on the deck, followed by Dentino from Greater Monmouth. Angus McDonald goes 201.00. We've got heat number 13 of 14, second of our three circle seated heats for the men's 200-yard breaststroke. Top time so far, Angus McDonald at a 201.00. We will have a swim-off, women's 200-yard backstroke, 16th place, Claire Logan, lane 4, Taylor Leishman, lane number 5. They both went 2:03.12 earlier today. 16th place swim-off, women's course. Big shout out, happy birthday to Jim Ryan. Mandatory withdrawal age. Happy birthday, Jim. We'll celebrate it all day. So on the men's side, Luke Vickers from Jackson Community Y comes in seated 157.51. Good swim right there, 2:00.55. Fastest split, fastest time so far on the deck, Luke Vickers, Jackson Community. And your final heat, third of our three circle seated heats, heat number 14 of 14 for the men's 200-yard breaststroke in the water. 2:00.55, your top time so far, Luke Vickers out of heat number 13. They're trying to chase down that 2:00.55 to get lane 4 tonight. Top seed John Taylor from Triangle area. Lane number 4, Drew Garth Hoffner, our 4th seed in this event, is in lane number 5. Taylor out 56.68, pretty zippy. Still staging for that 200 back swim off. (127.23), pretty good split right there for Yoda's John Taylor. See if we can get under that 2:00 mark. Got a pretty good shot right here. And he will be at 158.98. John Taylor unofficially to hold down lane number 4 tonight in our championship final. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for all of those 200-yard breaststrokers, men's and women's side, all of our athletes this morning in the preliminary session. We still have a swim-off on the women's course. All right, swim off for 16th place on the women's 2-back. Mr. Referee. So these ladies swimming it off in the 50. Get that 16th place spot, swimming to be final tonight. Claire Logan, Fanwood Scotch Plains in lane number 4. Taylor Leishman, 14 years old from Wyckoff in lane 5. And there you have it, 26:42. That'll move Logan into lane number 8 of the B final. That concludes this morning's preliminary session. I'll have a time for you here momentarily on the start of our time trials today. Great swimming. Put your hands together for all of our athletes during this morning's session. Great job. And don't forget the parade tonight. We start that at 4:50. 4:50, parade of athletes and officials. We'll start our swimming at 5:15. Have a great morning, rest of the morning and afternoon here in Greensboro. You need the coach from Chippewa Valley to the time trial table. We're going to start time trials about 11:15. 11:15 time trial session today. Chippewa Valley, feet first entries only, swimmers. Feet first entries only for the warm-up. Go ahead. Chippewa Valley to the time trial table, please. If I can get Ben from the GAC over here to the announcers table. Ben from Greensboro Aquatic Center, if you have a chance to stop by the announcers table. Appreciate it. Thank you. If Ben is available from the Greensboro Aquatic Center to come to the announcers table, thank you, Ben. Thank you, Ben, if you can come over to the announcers table. Preliminary results of the women's 200-yard breaststroke. Your alternates for the D final.